Hi guys, spent $23 here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the covert deploy trick in Clash Royale. Now this was something I noticed the other day in a friendly battle in my clan, and I was in a battle with somebody and they accidentally, covertly deployed a troop just like you just saw then. Did you see what troop got dropped behind that angry face, that taunt? Well, you probably didn't. It's very difficult to see. Now, of course, if you're not in the middle of an attack at the time, that's really of no use because the emoji disappears and you can see the troop a couple of seconds later. There goes an ice wizard. Now, if you look carefully, there is a little splash of ice and you do see it go down. But again, there are certain situations where you can use that to your advantage. Now, if you play with the sound on, you can judge what is behind there. I don't play with the sound on. The sound kind of annoys me. I know there's a lot of people who don't bother playing with the sound on. But such as when you send a goblin barrel like this, send the goblin barrel, the emoji goes down. Now, you did just see the princess sneak down there. You did that a little bit. The timing was bad. But when I was in this battle, I threw my goblin barrel. The emoji went over, and I was hovering with my arrows and all my freeze spell, or my fireball. I think it was arrows at the time, and I hesitated. I didn't know whether to fire them or not because I couldn't see what was hiding behind the taunt face. And I hesitated for long enough that it actually changed the outcome. Now, as it happens, I should have fired the arrows, but I didn't fire them because I couldn't see what was there. So what I'm going to show you today is I'm going to test a few of these different troops on this and show you when this will actually be useful. You can only use it on the left-hand side tower, but you guys probably know that quick reactions in this game make all the difference. Here goes a goblin barrel, there goes the taunt, and you can't actually tell. There you go, there goes the ice wizard. That was a little bit late and he dropped it too much to one side. You did see it drop down, but we'll have a look at some of the other troops which go down a little bit more covertly than the ice wizard. Now, you probably wouldn't try and counter the ice wizard anyway. You're unlikely to fire a fireball because it doesn't kill it, and you certainly wouldn't fire the arrows. But there are troops that you would use spells on, and there are other situations where you would use it as well, such as, for example, the miner. People do drop the miner behind the tower. Now, this was just the end of that battle. We were just testing it out to see if it worked. We did actually try and play seriously for the rest of that battle. And before we move on to checking out this covert troop trick, I want to ask you guys, in your clan, do you have rules about friendly battles? Because what you'll see here is we're applying our unwritten rules, which is we don't use fireballs, arrows to take down a tower. So I could use a fireball here and I could win this battle. But really, it's not about the winning. You actually, when you're doing these, you're practicing. So we don't do things like that. Do you have rules like that? We also don't taunt each other. There doesn't seem to be any point in trying to aggravate people in your clan. So really, again, it's an unwritten rule. We don't kick people for it, but you get in a bit of an argument if you start taunting. So I want to know in the comments, guys, what kind of rules you have for friendly battles or unwritten rules, and see if it's anything like ours. Now, let's get back to these covert troops, and let's see if this works. So I'm up against Utsav here. Now, he's got a miner, and I've got a goblin barrel, and we're going to see if we can hide some troops. So I'm going to fire my goblin barrel here. He's going to do his taunt. There goes the taunt, and you just, if you look carefully, saw a wall breaker drop down. But obviously, if you're not looking out for it, you wouldn't have known what that was, and it does distract you for long enough to make a little bit of a difference, especially if you're hovering with a spell. It might cause you to either drop it or not drop it, or certainly make the wrong decision. You saw there I hid a mini P.E.K.K.A. Now, from my side of the screen, you maybe could see the mini P.E.K.K.A., but from his side of the screen, he absolutely couldn't see it. In fact, his mole was already dead by the time my taunt picture had disappeared. And that is really kind of kinky. I really kind of like this because you can definitely gain a little bit of an advantage, confuse your enemy just enough to make a slight difference. Here I go with the goblin barrel again. There it goes. Now that one was a princess. Because I'm used to this, I can tell what they are. That was a princess. They go down very secretly indeed, and you might only get away with this 2 or 3 times against the same person. They might be keeping an eye out for it, but even then, if somebody's having to concentrate on checking what it is that's being dropped behind there, then it means that they're not concentrating on something else. You might be able to mount a counter-attack on the other tower. Again, I dropped a mini P.E.K.K.A. there and I destroyed his mole. He couldn't actually see what was happening to his mole. As soon as the emoji disappears, his mole is gone. It's so secret, it's crazy. Okay, here we go. Let's fire another goblin barrel. Let's see what he's going to drop this time. Oh, I saw that one. He was way too slow with that one, look. There goes the wizard. That was the wizard trying to sneak down behind. I saw him there. He did it too early. I'm going to show you what order you have to do this to get the most covert troop deployment that there is possible. We practiced this a couple of times, and there are ways of doing it that makes it almost invisible. So well, the first thing that you have to do is you have to drop your troop first before the emoji, because there's a delay on dropping the troop. You'll get used to how to do this. Drop your troop first, then go straight to the emoji and only press it once. Don't press it twice, because if you flash it up twice to try and get a longer period of the emoji between it popping in and out, then you'll be able to see what that troop is. It's still confusing, still might do the job, but it doesn't make enough of a difference, I don't think. So what I'm going to do next, guys, is we're going to see which troops are the best for hiding behind these taunt faces. Now, obviously, some of them are going to be very terrible. You're not going to be able to hide a Royal Giant behind there, for example. Let's take a look. This is going to be Tony. He's going to drop all kinds. There he goes. Do you know what? That was kind of hidden. There goes a Sparky. That was very difficult to see what that was. It looked a little bit like an Ice Wizard. So if somebody had some kind of, maybe a Royal Giant or maybe a Hog on your tower, you could covertly drop a Sparky behind and you could take it out. Also, the Giant P.E.K.K.A, that went down secretly as well. I didn't really see that Giant P.E.K.K.A behind there. I'm surprised the Giant P.E.K.K.A can be hidden behind that. That is kind of weird. That is the last troop. Well, not the last troop I was expecting. I think the last troop I expected to be able to hide is maybe a Giant Larry. What was that? I can't see that one. What is it? Oh, it's a Golem. The Golem hides really well as well because it's not so tall. That was well hidden. I don't know a circumstance where you might want to hide a Golem because obviously it's not going to defend, but maybe you could do it anyway. So maybe after your tower's gone down. Giant, that wasn't hidden. Now you could see his head peering up above the top of that angry face. Who's going to drop next? I think he's going to... Let's go close up and let's take a look at these. Okay, so the giant skeleton. You definitely can't hide a giant skeleton behind there. That is not going to work. God, he's one ugly guy, isn't he? Look at his jaw swinging from side to side. That's kind of freaky. He's killing his babies. No, don't kill them. Okay, who's he going to drop next? I didn't see what that was. Oh, it's a Sparky. So the Sparky genuinely, I think, looks a little bit like an Ice Wizard when you drop that behind. Maybe you can find a time when you might covertly drop a Sparky. But like I say, guys, anything you can do to kind of confuse your enemy a little bit. Also, I want to know, do you look at the Royal Giant? Okay, that's not very well hidden. The shadow was peering out there. Do you guys think this is cheating if you actually do this? Do you think? I don't think it is. It's within the game. You could do it. What's that one? It's a Giant P.E.K.K.A. You could just see the horns just up above the top. Let's see what happens when you do it when there's no tower. The tower's already being destroyed. Let's see if you can covertly drop a troop here. I cannot see that one at all. I have no idea what that was. Golem, it turns out, seems to be one of the easiest troops to hide, but it's also kind of one of the most pointless. I don't know why you would hide a Golem. The Giant Larry is the worst. That is the worst. You definitely can't hide that bad boy. But guys, try this out. See if it works when you're doing when you try and defend against a Goblin Barrel, or maybe you could use a Sparky and defend against some other troops. I don't know, but let me know how it goes. I think this is going to gain you one slight advantage in these battles that you're having with people who may be slightly better than you. Maybe you can confuse them into losing. Giant P.E.K.K.A, that kind of works. That works pretty well. Match is over. We did as many as we could there. Now, I know that you can't hide a group of troops, guys. You can't hide a minion horde, for example. But we did hide an elixir pump. The most pointless thing to hide in the world. Hiding an elixir pump for a couple of seconds. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do like, comment. Don't forget to drop me the comments, by the way. I need to know what your rules are in your clan as far as friendly battles. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Spencer23. I'm back a little bit later, guys. Probably going to do another Clash of Clans video today. Yes! I'll be back a little bit later, guys, but until the next time, you guys take care. Send everyone